Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Christy here for the weekly reading for the sign of Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you don't know your Moon and Rising signs, check out the description box for a link where you can plug in your information, figure out your Moon and Rising sign, and for any reason the Aries reading doesn't resonate with you, you can try the Moon and Rising sign and see if they help with issues better this week. That being said, I do hope that this appeals to you and resonates with you, my dear Aries. There's also information about me, how to contact me, and about the cards that I'm using in the description box as well. I'm going to be doing the same spread I did last week, Aries, just with a different deck. I'll be using the Medicine Card Tarot deck for the general spread for a general reading for the week for you. There'll be a central issue card, 2 clarifiers, and the bottom of the deck we'll use as general energy for the week. And then, of course, from the other 2 decks at the end of the reading, we'll draw some additional guidance for you. So, if you were listening last week, you might notice that I don't have allergies anymore. So thanks for getting through that video if you listened to it. I'm sure it was a little annoying, so sorry about that, but I do feel much better, and I hope that you don't have allergies because they're horrible. And if you're new here, welcome to my channel. Thanks so much for tuning in, subscribing, liking, and sharing my videos. And if you're back from last week, thanks so much for joining me again. I really appreciate you being here, and I really hope that you enjoy the readings, Aries. So I wish for Aries all joy, success, and wellness. I call upon the Archangels Michael, Gabriel, Metatron, and Uriel to guide this reading in peace, love, clarity, and wisdom. I ask Gaia to please bless this reading for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I'm looking for 3 cards to jump from the deck for a general reading for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This reading is for the week of May 8th to May 14th. So we've just gotten out of Taurus and retrograde, finally, Aries. So if you've been putting off getting your hair or your nails done, doing some clothes shopping, even buying something that you've always wanted and have put off for whatever reason over the last 6 weeks, you can feel confident moving ahead and going for that now, with Taurus moving direct in Mercury. I haven't used the Medicine Card Tarot for a central reading for a very long time, so I really hope that you enjoy these cards as the central topic cards this week. You can always tell me your thoughts in the comments about what you like about the spread, what you didn't, if you'd like shorter videos, or if you prefer me using another deck in particular for general readings. I do like to switch it up a bit just to keep it a bit fresh. And I might go back next week to 1, 2, 3, 4, a 5-card spread. So something a little different next week, perhaps, just to keep it a little fresh. I had originally wanted to do a 3-card spread to, well, ostensibly keep the readings a bit shorter, but it doesn't seem to matter. 3 cards, 5 cards, the readings tend to take 20 to 25 minutes anyway. So I hope you don't mind that. When I'm watching other people do tarot videos in my sign, I don't mind how long the videos are because, you know what, you can pause it, you can come back to it. Or sometimes if you're in the right mood or frame of mind, it's just something nice to sit down with a cup of tea, you know, and watch like a little program, like a little TV show. So maybe 20 to 25 minutes isn't so bad. So Aries, we're looking at about a 2-minute shuffle here. If I don't start getting jumpers from the deck, what I will do is start, oh, yay. Okay, so how about I just pay attention and concentrate on the cards a little bit more. We just need 2 more jumpers, and then we'll move ahead with the reading. Great. And just 1 more. So while I'm shuffling, Aries, I will tell you that the central card for your reading this week is the Mountain Lion. The Mountain Lion's keyword is leadership. And then to the right of Mountain Lion, we have the Bat. And the Bat's keyword is rebirth. So let's get a third card here and look at what, in a general sense, whatever is going on predominantly in your life this week is what I suggest that you apply this reading to. If travel, business, personal affairs, health, love life, whatever is prominent for you for the week of May 8th to the 14th is what you can apply the general messages of the week to, and hopefully that assists you in some way or helps clarify something for you or helps raise questions about something that you weren't looking at closely before. However you take this reading is just fine with me. All right, so we're just looking for 1 more card here to complete the 3-card spread for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Perfect. And we have the Raven to the left. So the Raven is, its keyword is magic. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Horse, and the Horse's keyword is power. So, like I said, I'm not accustomed to using this deck as a central card deck. So automatically we're looking at issues of leadership, rebirth, magic, and power. My initial response, anytime I see cards where there are heavy magic cards, power, leadership, and actual the magic, is to watch yourself this week, Aries. You could be putting the cart before the horse emotionally or karmically. If for whatever reason this week you feel above someone else and you're doing a lot of judging, I would suggest that you put that aside. If you feel that you've accomplished something and someone else hasn't and you're judging those relationships, I'm going to ask that you cease doing that. That's not benefiting you. And it's certainly not benefiting a loving perspective. All comparison kills acceptance, and that includes ourselves, right? If we're comparing ourselves to others, then it is an antithesis to self-acceptance. So just keep that in mind if you feel aggressive this week, because I see the leadership in the central position, and I see the power card here as an overall energy. So there could be misguided power, misguided leadership here, a call to be aware of an enormous sense of power and leadership and not to abuse or misuse it, okay? So let's look a little bit closer at the horse card. This is an action card. You can see the horse is in motion, actually running. And horses used to be wild, and there are many places in the world, they're far and few between now, but many places in the world where horses are still wild. But they have been tamed over the century by human beings to act as basically as mules for the human body and for human enterprise, even including the language that human beings use for motor vehicles, right? So we actually rely on horses a lot. Horsepower now with motor vehicles, but certainly our ancestors relied on horses before the motor car and before trains and so forth. And they were used to get us places, to transport us. And they were also considered a sense of power. If you had, it was, think in terms of cattle, right? The more horses you owned, the richer you were. And certainly the more that you had, or even if you had one healthy horse, you could go faster than everybody else. So it is a sense of power. You could even have this week, Aries, something that you're aware of, you've been aware of forever, or you're just becoming aware of, that you didn't realize was a power, that you're just coming into a certain power this week. Again, my only hesitation around being fully, say, in power or for power is to be aware that this doesn't create an imbalance of power, or that this power doesn't become abused. Okay? So again, not a bad thing that's going on here. Certainly not coming into a power or being cognizant of a power you didn't have before, but that it's not misused. In the center, which is relating to you, in particular, is the Mountain Lion card. And like I said, this is the leadership card. You can see in the Mountain Lion's face, they're very aggressive, standing their ground, but they could also be willing to attack. But you're also looked up to, right? I mean, you could act as a protector right now. So I think it really depends on what perspective you're looking at this reading from. Are you looking at it from the individual who is thanking the mountain lion for being in front of them, for protecting them, being a leader for something? Or are you in opposition to the mountain lion and you feel like you're being attacked, or you feel like they're being too aggressive? So depending on who is in who you're dealing with and what perspective they're coming from this week, Aries, you could be met with different reactions, right? The person who's standing behind you, whom you're protecting with your leadership, could be just full of accolade and thank yous and how could I do it without yous. On the other hand, if someone's in front of you and you're dealing with them aggressively, they could be reacting with a, why are you being so aggressive? Why are you attacking me? And perhaps I'll retreat. So again, this doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing. Leadership is certainly not a bad thing, but just be aware of how you're using your leadership skills and why you're using them the way you are. And to what end, right? To what goal are you using this? Is there another way that you could behave this week with regard to your general issue? Is this just something that's happening this week and you're personally confused by it? You know, that could very well be going on this week for you as well, Aries. I normally wouldn't say that there was an issue around misuse of power or leadership if these weren't in the same reading, if this wasn't an overall energy, if this wasn't a central card, and if the magic card wasn't next to the central card. And magic is always, there's black and white, right? There's two ways to generate magic as well. Magic in and of itself isn't necessarily a bad or evil thing. It's kind of like money in a sense, where it's a tool. but how do you use it? So let's get into the Bat card. This is the card of rebirth. So again, we're looking at issues of coming back into an energy that you had forgotten or let go of or wasn't aware of or was cognizant of but wasn't putting into practice. And you're putting it into practice this week and you're becoming more comfortable with it. Not a bad thing, right? Because engaging in a rebirth of something. It could be also that a relationship is being rebirthed or being regenerated. Something that you thought was gone is coming back to life. This could relate specifically and only to you. It could be a feeling. It could be with relation to the magic card, it could be a sense of magic, a sense of relating. But again, beware how this energy is used and the purpose of it and what you hope to attain by using this energy. It's very strong energy, I guess is what I'm trying to convey here. This is a lot of very strong, I would even say strict, I would even say aggressive language, energy this week, Aries. So maybe even watch for moving hurriedly. Try to take your time this week. Don't be in a hurry. And if at all possible, if you are feeling aggressive or confrontational, etc., within that vein, or dark, if there's a dark magic that you feel around you, that you feel what am I trying to say? That you can't contain, I'm going to suggest that you write it down or draw it out, or that you ask someone to listen to you while you vent. This is not a week to engage in conversation about how you feel about your power and your leadership and your rebirth. This is a nice week to vent, okay? If that's what's going on with you this week, Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So again, with the Raven card, its keyword is magic. Again, there is dark and light magic. Be aware of both of those containers for this tool, okay? For the tool of magic. Magic is a tool. How are you using it? Could it be misused this week? Very much so. Could you be accused of being too aggressive this week and not protecting others? Absolutely. If none of this is happening, that's terrific, right? It means you have a hold on your emotions and your reactions this week. But this could be a confrontational week. Particularly regarding the unseen, the unknown, and issues regarding the way that life goals and issues regarding the will are manifested. If, for example, you're aware that you want something to manifest and you want it to happen and you're aware of how to go about it happening, I'm going to suggest that you apply white magic. All right? I'll say it. I said it. White magic. Do not turn to the dark this week, Aries. It will come back to bite you. Because and it ain't me who's saying that, right? It's not up to me to figure that out. That's just the way it works, okay? If you want something bad enough, anybody can get it, but there is always a price. So you're not gonna like doing that just to have a price to pay at the end of it. So if you can soothe yourself this week, Aries, please do. As an additional message card, we have building blocks. You could be trying to build something out of this energy. Hopefully it's for the greater good for everyone, yourself included. There should be no victims at the end of this building block. If there is any energy or thought pattern or behavior around getting back at somebody or creating a karmic result for someone else, please, please don't do this. On the other hand, if this is all strictly about yourself and you're using this positively, totally for the greatest good and for yourself, and you're thinking of the highest good, these building blocks will behoove you. Again, with the writing a list down of things that are irritants or venting in an environment where you have specified that you don't want results, you just need to vent, is very important this week. Building blocks around your intentions are really important this week. So if it isn't about dispersing negative energy or how to contain aggressive energy, certainly write that list about what your plans are for the long term and use this white magic energy for the greater good for yourself. I think you will find this is a really good way to manifest even faster, is to get your thoughts down, drawing, brainstorming, that type of thing. This week, it's an enormously positive way also to use this incredible magic rebirth power that you have for yourself while remaining a leader. Okay, so there's a very, very positive way to use all of this incredibly potent energy this week. On the other, right? Listen, on the other hand, this could just be like potent sexual energy, and you could just need to release a lot of sexual energy this week. Whatever you do this week, though, my dear Aries, please do not seek revenge. If that's even at any stage of your week, this is not the week for revenge. Well, really, no week is it the week for it. But if you're having thoughts of any sort like that this week, I'm becoming less and less inclined to think that that's what's going on, because you have the emerging card. I think you're just coming out of something. I think you're coming out of the idea phase and into the creation phase. So really, hopefully, this is all white energy being propelled, white magic rather, being propelled toward your highest good. The emerging card is literally bringing things to life, okay? So if there's any negativity around your powerful magic this week, please let it go. Do what you have to do to let it go. Walk in the woods, exercise, have some crazy sex, vent, and get it out, because the creative phase is here for you to become even more magnificent than you are and to bring all of these intentions to life in a very expedient way. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that reading, my dear Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Please let me know what you think of it in the comments, as always. And I look forward to seeing you next week for your next weekly reading. Take care till then. Bye.